Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me Shel Bhatnagar. This is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. It's panned out to be a fantastic day so far. We've actually seen record highs on benchmarks. The Sensex crossing 80,000 mark for the first time on an intraday level. The Nifty also hovering near record high levels. The Nifty Bank also crossing in the previous record high. Even at this point in time, the markets are looking comfortable, trading near the high point of the day. It's the Nifty Bank that's holding up about 1.8% higher, almost at a 950 point uptick at 53,127 odd levels. The Nifty 50 is half odd percent higher in trade at 24,264 right now. Sectorally speaking, of course, it's the banks that are leading from the front. Apart from the banks, you have metals, small caps, FMCG, pharma, and the auto indices that are still holding up and about. Within the F&O movers, again, a lot of those power financing names, PFC, REC, are continuing to hold their top spot. Banking names are also a buzz with all the gains, and it's the IT names which are also showing us some uptick right ahead. Now we will be looking at the earnings season. We'll be joining by top market experts who will be joining us and helping us and our viewers to navigate through this record high move and what exactly should be the strategy for all our viewers. Good afternoon to all of you and good afternoon, Shel.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a blowout. It's a blowout on the Nifty Bank, 53,136 as I speak. It's a record high. Nice four-digit rally that you've seen on the index, and all thanks to HDFC Bank. Now up just 2% point at about 1768, but a very, very strong move in early morning trades. And seeing that rally, it's Axis Bank, which is up 2.5%, fresh record high 1284. ICICI Bank above 1200, 1.1% higher. Kotak is buzzing with 2.2% gains, and SBI about 1.8 percentage points higher. In fact, these top 5 banks are the top contributors to Nifty as well, 0.5% higher at 24,250. Needless to say, both the Bank Nifty as well as the Nifty and the Sensex hit a fresh record high in early deals. And what is really, really interesting, Sakshi, is that on the day of the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty, it has managed to retain all its gains that it started with a gap up and then has built up more. More action is likely on the long side as far as the index is concerned, and we are all set for better and higher values as far as markets are concerned. Let's dip into the Nifty. You have a very strong move coming into Adani Ports, now about 1.7% higher. It's reclaimed 1500. Tata Consumer 3.5% higher, 1141. You have a strong move coming into Apollo Hospitals, 1.3% higher. And in terms of draggers, the stocks that are pulling the index down, Reliance 1.2% lower, 3090. TCS 1.5% lower, 3958. The mood is extremely buoyant in the broader markets as well, Sakshi. Look at the way how Mazgaon Dock, how Cochin Shipyard, both of them have now hit record highs. 45821 Mazgaon and Cochin now beyond 2400 for a brief while. Both these defense counters are doing very, very well, as also BEL, BEML and BDL. So all round thick action on the long side. And if you look at how the markets are placed, 1475 stocks are in the green as far as the National Stock Exchange are concerned, 883 in the red. We track 19 indices for you. Out of them, 15 are in the green, and absolutely no surprises when you look at the sector. The 3 top gainers are Nifty Bank, Nifty PSU Banking Index, and the Nifty Financial Services Index. Actually, pitter patter of rain in Delhi. Is it raining in Noida as well?
Yes, it is, and it's a wonderful weather out there. Almost you feel like taking the studios outside of this enclosed area that we are in and enjoying the weather while you're doing this. But let's see, it's a good weather on the street and we will be enjoying that at least for now. Let's welcome our guests on the show. We do have Mr. G. Chokalingam joining us. He's the founder and the MD of Economics Research. We also have with us Mr. Neeraj Kumar, the Chief Investment Officer of Future Generali India Life Insurance. Warm welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Congratulations. Yet again, record highs, milestone levels on the street is what we are looking at. Mr. Chokalingam, starting with you. How are you looking at the market setup right now? Are you comfortable deploying fresh funds at these sky-high levels in the markets, or are you keeping well-researched stocks aside, waiting for a good entry point going forward from here?
As far as Sensex and Nifty are concerned, I still remain extremely bullish. I believe that there is a scope for further appreciation of broad indices. And in fact, I believe Sensex can hit 90,000 by end of current calendar year and 1 lakh by end of next 2025 calendar year, subject to two possible risk factors. One, in case the monsoon fails miserably, because last year also we had a 6% deficit rainfall. And this time again, if it fails miserably, then it will be a problem. Interest rate cycle will not reverse. In fact, interest rate can go up, that can spoil the market. And second, it's not my forecast or my wish. By any chance, there is any disturbance to the political stability, then that can be a major setback to the market. Otherwise, Sensex and Nifty should see 12 to 15% annualized return for next 2 years. That confidence comes from the fact that Sensex PE is only around 24, trailing PE. So if India is expected to grow at 7%, earnings can grow at easily 14%. So that should justify the current indices level, and therefore they would assure at least 12-13% annualized return for next 2 years.
Right. We are also joined by Mr. Neeraj Kumar, Chief Investment Officer at Future Generali India Life Insurance. Namaste Kumar Sahab, a very warm welcome to you on Business Today Television. What a wonderful day to welcome you, sir. Record highs all around, making it difficult for capital allocators such as you to deploy fresh money. How do you feel on Dalal Street today, and where are we headed?
It's a lot of excitement in the market. As you can really see, market in a very different zone. Good to see investors smiling. Good to see our customer, whoever would have really chosen us, maybe is actually smiling all across. So it's a very, very right environment. Yes, it's tough for a investment manager to basically put the money in this market. But let me tell you, there are enough pockets in today's environment also where you are not really following the herd. You have maybe something where maybe you can still really put money, and some of the large cap is still really offering good value. Of course, there are pocket of the market which is in euphoric zone. We really stay away from there. And the idea is to really stay invested in the market because see, you have to really look at this market is today is a roaring market, not only for India. It is a market which is a globally roaring market. And it's because 2-3 things that maybe if you really took a look at, it has exceeded the expectation in terms of one, the growth globally. With usual interest rate cycle and interest rate hike, the expectation was you would really be having a hard landing all across the world, which has not happened. What happened is that maybe you actually have become come in an environment which is a very Goldilocks sort of environment. You have a reasonable growth across the globe, not only for India. India, of course, we are actually firing at 7.5 sort of number, which is a damn good number, an historical high or close to a high that we are actually looking at. If I leave that maybe just coming out of maybe the COVID, we had maybe a base which was of course lower. If I leave that, then broadly in a decade, we have not seen this sort of maybe the growth path. So clearly, it's something which is, and globally too, it's a reasonable growth, abundant liquidity in the market. You have seen that inflation is coming down. You are seeing that we have a lot of ability in terms of reducing the rate by all central bankers across the globe. And that is why you are seeing the market is chasing, because you are at a fag end in terms of even if the soft landing or sort of maybe the problem is really going to occur globally too. And of course, that's a dynamics that would always be playing out. You have, you are actually just coming out of food, and perhaps one of the reason that maybe global buoyancy that you see today is primarily because of that.
Right. That was a wonderful discourse on the Goldilocks scenario that we are witnessing in the markets today. Mr. Kumar will sort of elaborate on that a little later. But let's get Mr. Chokalingam into the conversation. Namaste, sir. What a very our pleasure to host you on Business Today Television. Any fresh talks that you've added to your research universe in terms of further delving deeper into their balance sheets? Anything at this point of time that looks interesting to you based on newer data that has emerged? We keep in mind Indigo Remedies whenever we invite you on the channel. That sadly is not doing anything great, but one of those stocks that will fire ultimately.
After we spoke last time, we came out with a report only recently, about last week only. This is on TTK Healthcare. This is 66-year-old company coming from the most reputed industrial house in southern part of the country. Why I picked up this stock is that, first of all, the stock has corrected more than 20-25% from the 52-week high. This is about TTK Healthcare. Interestingly, its annual report has come out a few days back. Apparently it's sitting on cash of some 52 crore. It has shown another 100 crore under other financial assets as a fixed deposit. So rich cash on the book, more than 800 crore, including the valuation of TTK Prestige share the company holds. And secondly, they are into 5 segments of the businesses. They have a FMCG, then they have a food business, and then they have the condom, the protective business, all branded. Now, if you look at a small company like Cupid, it is trading at more than 10 times sales, market cap to sales. So if I assume anywhere around 3 to 4 or 5 times sales for valuable branded businesses of TTK Healthcare, I think the stock is worth more than 2,000. So, and also that they came out with a delisting last year and which failed. So delisting, the failure gives me the intuition that the promoters must be knowing much better than a person like me in terms of the ultimate inherent, the value of the businesses and properties they have. As I said, 66-year-old company having too many warehouses, several factories, several depots across the country. I think, the ultimate implicit value of the stock would be even more than 2,500, but conservatively, I would expect 2,000 rupee is the target. And I find a lot of comfort in the stock. And it is one of the safest stocks at the current juncture when we have a lot of bubble in the small and mid cap space.
Okay, got that. Let's get in Mr. Neeraj also into the conversation to understand from him the way the recent rally has come in on the back of large cap private banks that had so far remained on the back seat when it comes to the run up in the markets. Stocks like HDFC Bank finally showing that they are coming out of slumber and hibernation. How are you looking at the opportunities within the large cap private banks, sir? Do you think this opportunity is ripe for investors to start building on, or do you think again this rally could fizzle out?
No, so if you look at maybe the whole banking and financial aspect, financial side of the economy, they are really relatively doing far better than maybe perhaps we really have seen them maybe in a last decade. They seems to be just coming out with maybe a lot of growth in terms of their strong growth, which is basically the mid-teen. Whether you really look at the most of maybe the large cap banks or NBFC too, they are basically the bottoming out in terms of the margin. If you really look at the stress in terms of their asset quality, relatively far less than maybe we really have historically seen them. Even as slippages of late has actually risen a little bit, but not much, which actually gives you again the hope that maybe perhaps the credit cost for the year 2025 financial year is not really going to be an elevated level. And hence the return ratio and all the parameters that if you really have to look at will get definitely better than what it was last year. So clearly, this segment, right from maybe the whole of the banking, NBFC also could really start really firing because you would have, and you will already have started seeing a reduction in terms of the interest rate. Their cost of funding would really come down. More or less, lending in the system is actually happening there at maybe the similar rate what it was 6 months back. So clearly, you would really see, of course, bank would continue to do well. NBFC is also really start looking is looking much better than maybe what they were maybe a year back, because the cost of funding is actually coming down for them. Would really give them some bit of maybe ability to really increase the ROA and ROE as well.
Okay. But Mr. Neeraj, where exactly are you keeping your focus right ahead of the earnings season, which will begin in just about 7 days from now? And where do you see outperformance coming in from this earnings season?
So I think banks could really be a big, and NBFC could really be one segment where we would really see a big outperformance coming on this month and as well as this coming quarter too, from a short-term perspective. We also think that maybe, okay, with the clarity of this quarter coming in terms of how the numbers are shaping up for the main IT companies, that should really be very interesting to really watch out. If you really see some bit of depression in terms of the numbers that they really report, that would really be a very good time to really add on. So that's something which is actually I'm quite maybe a glue to that what's really going to happen in that segment. The third is, of course, the capex and the capex related, which is either related to the power and the other segment, which actually continues to do well. And that segment we may really see, because we just have gone by the election to some extent could really be seen as some bit of disruption in terms of the economic activity, because a lot of people really go back, and there are a couple of companies who actually have highlighted. So you may see some bit of softening in terms of the growth rate trajectory that you really have seen, and that could also really throw some bit of opportunity as well. So clearly, this quarter is going to be some bit of surprise as well, negative as well as positive. Negative should really be seen as a construct in the market, because that's not something which is really going to continue for a longer period. And hence, maybe one would really get an opportunity to build a portfolio around that segment.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, for your wonderful exposition on the Goldilocks environment that we are seeing on the Lal Street. We wish you all the best in allocating fresh capital in this roaring bull market, and when we meet next, we hope that the smile is bigger and better. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2:53 p.m. Let's take a detour into the markets. It's a nice rocking day on the Lal Street. Sakshi, it will be of great interest to look at the delivery statistics of HDFC Bank and look at how the volume has shaped up. 9,220 crores, and we are still half an hour, 37 minutes away from market closing down. Today has been one of the best days in terms of volume. Mazgaon Dock, 3,300 crores worth of transactions happening. Look at Castrol Industries, and you know, this is where the problem happens in this bull market. 15% higher, 246 rupees. The transaction is worth 2,350 crore rupees. And what has Castrol done? It has for the moment given some samples of a coolant that can be used in data centers to use it instead of water to cool down machines. The less I comment it on better, but this is all I am trying to say, that the froth in the market is visible in such movements and in such transactions. Amongst the top 15 traded by volume, all of them are above 1,000 crores. So it's going to be a very, very nice day when it looks at volumes. And of course, I'll be keeping an eye out on HDFC Bank in terms of delivery statistics. All-time highs, Mazgaon. There is a little known pharma company, FDC Limited, 499, 6% higher. Federal Bank was the first stock that we discussed today morning, 4% higher, 181.70. You have a very sharp move coming in Granules India, 1.9% higher, 500.6. Persistent Systems, Bharat Dynamics, Oracle Financial Services, Garden Reed Shipbuilders, Zomato, and of course Trent. These are the stocks that are hitting fresh highs in a market which is again on a record level. The Nifty 24,250, 130 points higher. The Nifty 500, 22,800, 0.5% higher. And taking it away completely on its weekly expiry day is Nifty Bank, 920 points higher, 53,093. Sakshi, what are you watching?
I wanted to discuss with Chokalingam sir about the buzzing primary market space as well before we let him go. We saw one listing today of Raj Steel. Yesterday it was Allied Blenders. Today again 2 more IPOs have opened up, Bansal Wires and Emcure Pharmaceuticals. How are you looking at the opportunity within the primary market space? Is there anything interesting that is coming on your radar too?
As Shail knows, very difficult to recommend such IPOs because most of these IPOs are priced at 40 PE, 70 PE, 80 PE. On the other hand, if we tell people don't apply, then we become a jokers. So therefore, our stand is that if you can take a possible trading risk, you apply for all IPOs. On listing, if you get money, you book it. Let me tell you, all of us know, IPOs are at peak in terms of mobilizing money. QIPs are at peak in terms of mobilizing money. Number of promoters selling the stock, it's again record high. Several hundreds of promoters have sold. So slowly the liquidity is getting drained out of the secondary market. So definitely we don't know when. That's a big question mark. Nobody has answer right now. But this cannot sustain. 445 lakh crore of market cap. So India is still supposed to be developing economy. So it is still, around $4 trillion economy. So right now the market cap is close to 5.5 trillion. I have no issue on the size of the market cap, but I have the problem on the valuation of the individual stocks and liquidity. So as I keep saying, even 1% of 445 lakh crore is 4.5 lakh crore. To find 4.5 lakh crore liquidity in the market, you need more than a month without hammering the market. So therefore, I remain extremely bullish on the market. So I suggest minimum 50% of the allocation to large cap stocks, Sensex and Nifty stocks. Only 30-40% to the small and mid cap. That too, well researched and the stocks which give you a lot of confidence, because even if market crash comes, let me tell you, 5 to 10% of the small and mid cap will keep creating the wealth, because the investor base has become now nearly 17.5 crore, 17.5 crore. Whatever happens to the market, there will be a couple of crores still will be having cash and still they will be chasing the good quality stocks. So opportunities are plenty, but at the same time, if you make a wrong move, something like EKI, Brightcom, if you invest, that kind of cycle will again get repeated. So I would only suggest that stay invested, but minimize the risk in terms of tilt towards large cap, also tilt towards stocks which give you a lot of valuation comfort.
Right. Mr. Chokalingam, this is all fine, not to invest in stocks like Brightcom and all, but you are the one who's not giving us any ideas. When we ask you, you tell us market is overheated, this is not the time to buy, market capitalization of BSEs ahead of GDP growth, and stay away and be cautious. If you are not going to tell us stocks, then people will get misled. Whenever you come, you must tell us 10 stocks to put money in.
Certainly. I can tell you 10 stocks to invest. That's why I said there will be a lot of stocks which will continue to do well. Like Albert David, Innova, CapTab. These are some of the stocks, apart from TT Healthcare. We keep recommending. But, like for example, we recommended a BSE at around 200 rupees. If you adjust for the bonus, and many of our clients made 10 times return, but there are 1 or 2 new, the investors in same BSE, they are sitting on 25% loss. So this is what I want to caution, that whatever quality of the stock, if you pay overpriced, enriched valuation, it is certain that you might get punished very badly. So only to that extent, I want to caution the investors, particularly the new investors. What the worry is that 95% of the investors whom I met, new investors, while doing a personal interaction, none of them looked at P ratio or EV to EBITDA or nothing. I mean, they always say that I heard it's a great lot of momentum, I buy. So this is a very dangerous time period.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Chokalingam, for being with us then on this very special edition. It's always a pleasure to host you, and we will hope that next time too you give us such gems to continue to track too in the markets, which we will continue to note for all our viewers. All right, 24,258 viewers, 135 points higher on the Nifty. And now let's welcome another guest on the show with us. I think Mr. Kunal Rambia has now joined in. He's the founder of The Streets. Kunal, warm welcome. Good to have you with us again. Well, record high moves. Any particular stocks that caught your attention today where you may be wanting to deploy fresh funds? Or are you just staying on the sidelines?
Very good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon to Shell sir and all our viewers also. So if you look at the Bank Nifty and Nifty, yes, they have been going really good and blessings of HDFC. Today we saw the massive gap of opening. But yeah, there are many good counters which are actually showing us new rallies from the present level. I just take up the counter of IREDA, IREDA. Look at the counter. It's up by 9.5% and it's closing above all previous highs. I mean, this is a counter where we initiated the first trade today in the morning itself about 216, which was the all-time high. Counter is trading at 225. One can initiate a buy even at the present level. Stop in that case can be 210 to 212 levels, and the targets can be 245, 250. There are many other counters. Look at FDC. I mean, this is again a counter which has given a fresh record high today. The breakout was at 490. It made a high of around 510. It's trading at 500. So yes, with the stop loss of 490, one can initiate a buy on that counter also. So IREDA and FDC are the two counters which I'm watching out right now for deploying the fresh capital and take the trade from the midterm point of view.
Okay, well, we'll continue to keep an eye out on this one and continue to be with us, Kunal. Meanwhile, we have my colleague Asim now joining in, and every day he comes to share with one or two stock ideas which have been a buzz with all the action in the recent past, and of course, what could be the outlook as per some of the top brokerage houses that are tracking. And today, it's again the renewable energy space and the financing companies on that front, IREDA, which is on your radar, Asim. So, this stock is again showing a lot of momentum now after some bit of consolidation that tested some investors' patience again. This is back in flavor. What do you have to say about IREDA?
Yeah, thanks, Akshi. So the stock has hit the record high today also, and it has been trading in a range of 162 to rupees 200 levels since mid-February. Now today it has broken.
All right, Asim, I think there is some kind of an issue. We will try and get back to you. I think we'll fix the audio and we'll come back to you. Meanwhile, we'll get in Kunal to really talk about IREDA and the entire renewable energy space and the power financing space as well as to where exactly should one be keeping their focus, because this space is completely abuzz. Kunal, IREDA for you, PFC, REC, all abuzz with all the action in trade today. Where exactly would you be looking to add afresh?
See, Sakshi, as we discussed just in the beginning itself, IREDA is the only counter which I'm looking at the present level. Look at the entire formation so far. Counter started somewhere from 50 levels post the listing. Straight away went up to 215, and that high was made on 6th of Feb. Since then, the counter went into sideways consolidation. A good curve formation was seen. Multiple curve formations were seen. And look at the volume breakout today. And today's volume, I tell you, this is highest noted since April 2024. Where the counter was trading at around 120 with sequential higher top and higher bottom. I think this counter is now ready for 245, 250 in the immediate terms. And going forward, I think it can show us the levels of 275 also. So, in the entire renewable energy space, I'm very bullish on IREDA as of now from the risk reward point of view and from the fresh entry point of view.
A very good afternoon to you, Kunal, and a very warm welcome. What a pleasure to host you on record highs across the board. So many stocks, and three main indices, all of them at fresh peaks. It's always good to listen to fresh blood. But what are you watching for in defense? Mazgaon up 5%, Cochin up 3.5%, Garden Reach up 4.5% uptick on HAL, and of course BDL and BEML are also booming. What do you like?
Sir, honestly speaking, these all counters are in absolute trend, and as we have been regularly discussing on our channel also, 3-4 days of consolidation and a new rally emerges, we should be capturing the new rallies. I'm very comfortable with Mazgaon Dock as of now. Last 3-4 days of consolidation, the breakout was at around 4480 to 4500. See the counter, it's trading all-time high 4670. So yeah, with the stop loss of 4500, one can initiate a buy on Mazgaon Dock. It's looking very attractive, and we won't keep the target on it. Let's keep it going. The another counter is HAL. It is about to give the fresh breakout. In fact, the high of 3rd June, which was around 45,444, is about to be taken out on the closing basis now. So one can initiate a fresh entry on that counter also. Stop loss can be 5200, and the targets can be 5700 kind of levels. Again, trending counters, let's not keep the target. We focus on the risk management and stop loss management point of view, and keep trailing the stop loss and ride the rally longer.
So that's Mazgaon Dock, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's a volume blowout on Mazgaon today. Just a few moments ago, we were talking about how the total volume has shaped up. Now 3,572 crores on Mazgaon. Let's look at volume buzzers and try and get our friend Kunal to comment on some of them. SGVN Kunal, 136 rupees, 3.9% higher. A volume blowout on this one. 3.23 crore shares have been traded, and the charts look excellent. What are they telling you?
Amazing formation, sir. And if you look at the overall trend, the trend is really sideways. The interesting observation in today's day is that it is up by 4%, and it's coming out of at least 1 month consolidation, exactly 1 month consolidation. That breakout is at 136.5. Counter is trading at 136.25. I think once this level is taken out on the closing basis, the previous high which we saw on 4th of June at around 150. And previously, we saw the previous high on somewhere in February that was at around 160 can be the immediate target. So with the stop loss of 128, one can initiate a buy on this, and the first target being 150 and second target being 165. And I think the counter saw the massive rally somewhere in 2023. I think the similar rally might just emerge even from the present level once it crosses all previous highs. So very bullish on the structure.
Okay, we have Asim back with us to share with us the info on IREDA. Take it away, Asim.
Thanks, Sakshi. So the stock has broken out from its consolidation zone, and it had been trading in a range of 160 to rupees 204 since mid-February this year. And now that it has broken from the consolidation zone, it has given a record high today, and it has surpassed the previous record of rupees 215 reached on February 6, 2024. In terms of turnover, it locked the highest turnover on BSE, that was around rupees 387 crore, and 180 lakh shares of this company changed hands on BSE. The stock is trading above all short-term and long-term moving averages. The experts we spoke to are mostly bullish on this stock. Brokerage Ventura Securities sees an upside of over 60% with a price target of rupees 350. It said with continuous support from moving averages, it appears all set to climb the rupees 350 mark. Mitesh Panchal, a SEBI registered analyst, said the stock has potential to hit the rupees 240 to 250 levels in the next 1 week. Jigar S. Patel from Anand Rathi said the support for this stock lies at rupees 200 and resistance at rupees 219. A decisive close above rupees 219 may trigger a further upside to rupees 235. He expects the stock to trade in a range of rupees 195 to rupees 240 in the short term. Back to you, Sakshi.
Okay, Thanks a lot, Aseem, for all that update, and we'll continue to keep an eye out on how IRIDA really moves from here on. After a long haul, 8.5% kind of move, it's back at record levels, and we'll see how the momentum really carries on. Beyond the benchmarks and the Nifty Bank as well, it's the mid caps that are showing a lot of strength, a lot of counters here in high digit moves that we can see. Castrol is sharply higher in trade. One can see a very strong move on this one. You also have Wockhardt Pharmaceuticals that is continuously moving sharply higher from the last few trading sessions. Even today, it's up by about 5.5%, 6%. So you can see Castrol is up 14%, Wockhardt is up 6%. You have Gujarat Pipavav that's also up by about 8% in trade. Then you have NBCC that's also moving up sharply in trade. The BHEL is back in action. In fact, there is some kind of a news flow that's coming in on BHEL. This is as far as new coal power plant. The company is going to be really looking at adding some parts for this one as well, and I think the government has directed the company for something like that. I think there is some 31 gigawatts kind of capacity that the company could be looking at. This from Reuters. I'll be getting you the entire news flow, but BHEL, there's a sharp uptake, 5% higher in trade. Kunal, could you give us your view on BHEL?
Absolutely, Sakshi. I'm very bullish on this counter, and we have captured the almost entire rally of BHEL. But now, if you look at the recent formations, 3rd of May, counter made high of 318, and since then, it attempted 5 times to cross the zone of 318 to 320. It was a failure. Today's volume is really good, and again, it's looking like it's going to break that high. But I will wait patiently for the breakout to come first, because it's been a failure for
next 5 to 6 years. So that's the news that is coming in. There's a strong surge on the back of that news flow on BHEL. We'll continue to mark this stock very, very closely from here on as well, on the back of such strong news flows. Tata Consumer Products is another one, Kunal, that I wanted to discuss with you. After a long haul, it's come back into focus. How are you looking at the stock?
See, again, the formation is really, really attractive. If you look at the overall structure, it's positive. The trend is really strong, but sideways consolidation since beginning of 2024 so far. Multiple spikes were seen even in the past, but the counter is not able to cross the levels of 1160 to 1165. Now that's the temporary resistance which I can see on the chart. So if someone wants to initiate a fresh entry, it's gonna be above 1170 with the stop loss of 1100, and the targets can then be around 1300. But till then, I mean, these are the counters which one can always think of accumulating in the consolidation correction near support itself. Right now, the support is at 1080. So with that particular support in mind, one can initiate a buy if there is a decline, or initiate a buy about 1160 to 1165. So.
Fine. Sir, there is a massive move coming in the PSU segment. A very sharp move today on IRFC. This is something to be looked at. Sakshi, absolutely flat trade for 21 days and now a breakout. Kunalji, above 21 EMA, IRFC, what is it telling you?
Absolutely, Shell sir. Almost all the counters are in the similar formation. If you take up the chart of BHEL or IRFC, almost all of them are coming out of this sideways consolidation. Now on IRFC, what I can see is the immediate breakout, which is placed at 179. Counter is already showing massive volumes. It's trading at 178. So I think above 179, it can show us the levels of 200 to 210, which can be new all-time high. So with the stop loss of 170, one can initiate a buy on the breakout of 179, and the targets can be 200 after that.
Kunal, I just forgot to take your view on Bank Nifty. A fresh one is starting beyond 53,000, and of course it will be a record close today if it closes above 53,100. What are the medium term charts of Bank Nifty telling you now?
So sir, it's been 4 days of negative sideways consolidation, and if you look at the high of around 27th of June, that was at around 53,180. From there we saw the correction till 51,980. And this entire sideways consolidation, which we call it as a flag formation, today we have seen the breakout of the same, and it's closing near to the record high itself. So I think from here we can see a new rally emerging. The immediate targets can be 54,100 to 54,250 kind of levels, and the entire view might get negated if Bank Nifty falls below 52,700. So that's the support which one can keep in mind. Initiate a buy for at least 1,000 points rally from the present levels.
Okay, got that. Defense space warrants an attention yet again. There are several stocks that are in very high single digits, and one of them at least in double digits too. Zen Technologies is up 10% now. Mazagon Dock is 9% higher. Cochin is up 8.5% higher. Paras Defense is 4% higher. Idea Forge Technologies 3% up in trade. BEL 3% higher. DCX Systems a 3% uptick can be seen across the board. A very strong surge that can be seen. No stopping the entire defense move. Kunal, several times have we discussed this space in the recent past. What next? Every time we feel that this space is overheated, there could be some profits that should be taken out. The next day, these stocks surprise with even a stronger surge. What is the ideal and the right strategy to approach the defense space as a whole and several stocks within this?
See, what you're saying is absolutely correct. It's overheated, but that's what we have seen, that overheated counter keeps on rallying and the rally continues, right? So the simple strategy, what I follow for my trades, is placing the simple trend lines connecting the extreme lows and wait patiently for the counters to come near those levels. Initiate a buy, don't sell the old positions, keep pyramiding the position, keep adding the same counter again and again. And whenever there is a new high, just wait patiently. There is no need to get excited and sell, make short-term profits. When the trends are on, we should know how to ride the rally, and that's what I think we have been discussing quite some time in our show also, and I'm sure Shelser will also agree on this. Any particular moving average which you feel you are comfortable with, say 21 or say 50, I'm talking on the technical front, so place that, hold the position. Whenever the counter reaches near that level, reinitiate buy and hold the rally. This is how we can approach. I'm not comfortable buying these counters on the breakout only because risk reward ratio is extremely unfavorable. But at the same time, when the counters are near to the support, we can always initiate the buy. And as of now, as we discussed, I'm on to HAL. My eyes are only onto it. For the fresh new breakout of consolidation, I'll think of initiating a buy with the stop loss of 5,200. Similarly for Mazagon, we have seen the rally. Almost the similar formation. So with the fresh levels, we can initiate a buy. Stop loss will be 4,300. This is for aggressive traders. For defensive traders, it's better to wait for the prices to retrace and then initiate the buy.
Fair point. This is a lovely exposition on how to get into counters that are trending, and then maybe just keep on moving with the trend. So buy the dip towards a shorter term moving average, maybe 21, and then hope that the rally reignites. Sakshi, let me point Adani Ports to you and yours from then on.
Please, go ahead.
Absolutely, it's been 5 days, 6 days of sideways consolidation.
Okay.
Which we have seen
Adani Ports. Kunal, that was also for you and Sakshi. So above 1500, the reason why I point this out in particular is that this is the voting day level that we saw Adani Ports on, and it's recovered from a low of 1165 hit on June 5th to above 1500 now. Kunal, yours.
Absolutely, Shelser. 1500 being the breakout level and counter is trading at 1512. It's a fresh breakout with the stop loss of 1480. One can ride the rally, and again, request to all our viewers, as we discussed, hold the position rather than booking the profits in short term. Hold the position, trail the stop losses. The targets for now can be 1580 to 1585, which we saw on 3rd of June. But I think the rally might get extended even further on this counter.
Okay, got that. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on Adani Ports. Also 2.5% strong volumes and a very strong surge that we can see. And the markets are now trying to inch back to those record high levels, viewers. 24,290. We are nearing the all-time high level. 170 points higher in trade. So the momentum is building up yet again on the markets. And remember, the all-time high on the Nifty, a fresh one at that, now stands at 24,307. So we're just about 10 odd points away from that level also. Let's again see where this momentum is being generated from. Of course, HDFC, Axis, Kotak and ICI, SBI, these are the top 5 counters that are contributing. Tata Consumer Products, ITC, Infosys and HUL are the other counters that are contributing to the gains. Let's again see what exactly can we look at. All the sectors, by the way, barring the flattish trade on media stocks, are now up into the green. So more and more participation coming in from those sectors that were still flattish with a negative bias right now. Of course, it's the private banks that are now 2% higher in trade. Financial services is up 1.9% higher. Metals is up 1%. You have the Nifty Next 50 stocks up 1%. PSU banks, that's also up and about. Broader markets are also shining bright. Within the Nifty Next 50 stocks like Havells, Bharat Electronics, Cholamandalam Investment, ICICI Lombard, Varun Beverages, these are the ones that are finding favor. Let's also touch base with the F&O space. Apart from PFC, REC and BHEL that we have discussed, it's Piramal Enterprising that's moving up now, 4.4% higher within the F&O space. Piramal, Kunal, for you, how are you looking at the stock? Is there a momentum that should be chased?
Absolutely. Sakshi, if you look at the entire formation from November 2023 so far, it's actually sideways with negative bias. In the recent times, the counter bounced right from the support level of 775. It's trading near to 945. But this swing high, the previous swing high, which is of 6th of May, and that plays at around 970. I think that's yet to be triggered out. So I'll wait patiently for the follow-through buying tomorrow morning. Now, this follow-through buying, the price should be above 960 at least during the market hours. With the stop loss of 930, then I'll think of initiating a buy. By any chance, if this buying is triggered tomorrow, the positional target on this can be 1050 to 1075. But it's only if there is a follow-through buying tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll avoid this counter for now because it's near to the resistance and the breakout is still pending.
Okay, got it. So that's Piramal Enterprises for you. You know, the other space that's also buzzing is the entire tourism space. So Country Club Hospitality is up 20% today in trade. You have Asian Hotels that's up 5%, Restaurant Brands up 5%, Barbecue Nation is again in momentum, 3% higher in trade, TFC Tourism Finance Corporation 3% higher. Some of these stocks are again buzzing. And how anything that looks positive to you, Kunal, within the tourism space? Are you looking at some counters?
So honestly, I have not been tracking this sector very aggressively, but just now I heard the name of Country Club, so I just opened the chart. It has given the fresh breakout of around 19.75, and then since then the counter is just trailing positive. So I think any decline till around the 21, 22 kind of levels can be a good entry on the counter with the stop loss of 19. One can then initiate a buy with the target of around 28 to 29.
Okay. Sakshi, Kunal is not the partying kinds. You can't get him on Barbecue Nation, United Spirits, United Breweries, Global Spirits. Not at all, not at all. But so,
Zomato?
No point telling him. 5-star
Kunalji,
hotels,
Zomato?
not at all. Pass. Zomato maybe. Zomato, yes.
My family members must be using Zomato more than me in that case.
Where you can spend where you have to spend money, absolutely no. He only spends money in buying quality stocks and trailing the stop loss close to the most comfortable moving average that he finds. He connects the lower lows and higher highs and keeps on just trailing his stop loss. That is all that he does. But markets, ladies and gentlemen, at an unbelievably strong note. Every single index, Sakshi, that we track is now moving towards its day's high. It essentially points to just one thing. Tomorrow the markets will be up again. Today was the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. It's killed at least 1 million traders. All the shorts have been squeezed out. You will look at the delivery statistics of ICICI Bank and Axis and HDFC Bank in particular, and those who are treating this rally as the one that they should be shorting will be going to the cleaners. Huge volumes coming in today. When you look at the most active counters, HDFC Bank has passed 10,700 crores, Mazgaon has passed 4,100 crores, ICICI Bank above 2,600 crores, Cochin Shipyard above 24, HUDCO, I can't remember the time HUDCO has tracked 2,100 crores. So these are all breakouts that are happening on very smart intraday volumes, and the delivery statistics will bear out the fact that this rally has more legs. We are in a massive pre-budget uptick. All possible PSU stocks, defense, railway, banks, anything to do with housing is in a very strong uptrend, Sakshi.
Absolutely, very well said. And Kunal, now the question would be, just like how Shell is saying that probably the markets will be up again tomorrow, the strategy that investors should have on Nifty Bank and on stocks for tomorrow, what would you suggest?
So Sakshi, as we discussed, I think Bank Nifty and Nifty might just continue its positive rally with the stop loss of around 52,500 on the futures. I think one can initiate a buy on Bank Nifty. Targets can be 54,100 to 54,250. And on Nifty, I think one can initiate a buy with the stop loss of 24,250 and the targets can be 24,750. Stock specific moves will definitely continue. So we can always keep an eye on the trending counter. Consolidation breakout can be a good strategy from here on till budget session.
Okay, got that. Well, I'm sure, Kunal, you will be going back home with a smile on your face. 80,000 has got retained in today's trading session, at least thus far. The Nifty is also back above 24,300 mark. So that's the kind of move that the markets have displayed. Shell, आज आप कुछ और भी मांग लेते तो फिर आपको मिल जाता, क्योंकि सुबह आपने कहा था कि अगर बाजार क्लोजिंग लेवल्स पर 80,000 पे क्लोज होगा तो हम लोग कुछ स्पेशल करेंगे आज. तो आई एम गेसिंग एवरी टाइम यू हैव टू से दैट आप कुछ और मांग लीजिएगा जो भी आपको चाहिए.
बिल्कुल. You know, we had prepared a whole show on the Sensex closing above 80,000, but there were so many good guests that we couldn't sort of get into that theme. But Sakshi, in my own lifetime, I have seen Sensex at on July 31st. Let me just give you that number. I had particularly kept that number in mind. Let me just get that data back. This was a time when I had bought something very specific. I still have it in my portfolio. So 1 second, what was the value of the Sensex? I want to tell you at that point. I think 2,000 something. Let me just get that number right. Okay, just a moment please. Okay, it was 3,900, ladies and gentlemen, and today we are at 80,000. If you look at it very interestingly, Sakshi, on June, in this month alone, we've added 10,000 points. So what was
I
the
believe.
value of the Sensex in in September 2001, when we had these global terror attacks, is the level. I mean, the entire effort from 1978 till 2001 has been added in less than a week. So you must see how compounding works, is my limited point.
Absolutely, Shell. This is the fastest ever 10,000 points rally to breach 80,000 that we have seen on the Sensex. It is just taken 138 trading sessions for this 10,000 point rally on the markets, marking it the fastest edition. Previously, the Sensex had first crossed 70,000 mark on December 11 of 2023. This is as an added on information for all our viewers as well. But thanks a lot, Kunal, for being with us on this historic day, witnessing another milestone and celebrating with us another day of record highs across the street, and yet again looking at some winners and choosing some stocks for all our viewers, which can be continuing to make good money for all our viewers too. 1.6% higher for the Nifty Bank. We are back above 53,000 mark. 0.8% of a rally on the Nifty 500 to 22,856 on that one. Across the board, there is a very, very sharp run up. Of course, it's the banks that we have to thank for this new latest number. 1.9% higher for the private banks as it ends the day. 1.8% up for the financial services. The Nifty Bank overall is higher by 1.7%. PSU banks over a percent uptick can be seen across the board, barring the media index. Rest of the sectors, they're all up and about into the green. Tata Consumer Products, Adani Ports, that shell mark, Kotak Mahindra Bank, HDFC Bank, Axis and SBI remain the top movers on the Nifty today. On the downside, about 7-8 stocks, about 6-7 stocks that fell in the red. So TCS, Titan, RIL, Tata Motors, Tata Group stocks, in fact, dragging in trade. Hindalco, Divi's Laboratories, L&T slipped a bit. F&O movers, Power Finance Corporation and REC up over 5% each. BHEL up over 5%. Piramal Enterprises and Sun TV were the top F&O movers. On the downside, on the F&O space, you had stocks like Ashok Leyland, Gujarat Gas, Deepak Nitrite and Titan Company and Balrampur Chini as dragging the street. But the PSU stocks also very strong surge, 1.6% higher for the PSE index, barring the Power Finances and BHEL. You also had Steel Authority, NMDC, BEL, NHPC and Oil India also moving up very, very sharply. Anything else, Shal, that you need to add?
या साक्षी, पार्टी तो अभी बाकी है और अभी शुरू हुई है.
That's the best way. Abhi to party shuru hui hai, because we have to witness Sensex at 1 lakh, which will be our next focus for the Sensex also. But congratulations to all our viewers, all of you who've been with us through this journey on Market Today and on Business Today television. We've seen some fantastic times and we hope to continue to see such celebratory moves on the markets going forward from here, because it's going to be the upcoming budget and probably this is the pre-budget rally and the ongoing momentum that we will continue to see. 24,286 as the closing level on the Nifty. Stay tuned with us on Business Today as action continues on the other side. Historic day at that, because the Sensex has claimed that 80,000 milestone in trade today, and let's hope that this sustains. But Mitesh ji, I think all eyes will now be on when will Sensex hit that 1 lakh mark. What do your technical charts really suggest to us? The rally so far has been stupendous, it's been fast, but all those who have stayed out may now want to take a fresh entry at 80,000, thinking that at least 1 lakh भी कभी आएगा तो मैं उसके लिए अब बाजार में निवेश करता हूँ. उनके लिए आप क्या कहेंगे?
नहीं, डेफिनेटली 1 लाख भी आएगा साक्षी जी, और 1,50,000 भी आएगा. सेंसेक्स ही एक इंडेक्स एक ऐसी चीज है जो हमेशा ऊपर ही जाएगी, irrespective of the stocks. Your stocks might go into the consolidation, but your index will always gonna go up and up. So yes, ऐसा भी टाइम आएगा जब हम BTTV पे 1 लाख